Welcome, dear friend, to this peaceful journey with Moon Mind Temple. As you settle in, allow your body to find a comfortable position. Perhaps you're lying in bed, ready to drift into restful sleep, or maybe you're seeking a moment of tranquility amidst your day. Whatever brings you here, know that you are exactly where you need to be. This is a safe space for healing, for understanding, and for deep rest. Tonight, we'll explore gentle wisdom from Zen Buddhist traditions that may help you understand your body's messages in a new light. These ancient teachings have brought comfort to countless souls across millennia. They remind us that our physical experiences and our spiritual journey are not separate paths, but a single journey unfolding in perfect harmony. As you listen, there's nothing you need to do except breathe and allow these words to wash over you like gentle rain. In the quiet moments before sleep, when the world grows still, we have a precious opportunity to listen deeply to our bodies. Many of us carry pain, perhaps a persistent ache in your back, tension in your shoulders, or discomfort that seems to have no clear source. Modern medicine offers many valuable treatments for these conditions, and those approaches have their place. But tonight, we'll explore another dimension of understanding, one that sees your body as not just a physical entity, but as a vessel of profound wisdom. Imagine for a moment that your body is constantly communicating with you, not with words, but with sensations. Each ache, each area of tension, each fluttering of discomfort, these are not random occurrences, but messages written in the language of feeling. What if your persistent headaches, or that mysterious pain that doctors haven't fully explained, is actually your body trying to speak to you about something deeper? What if physical discomfort sometimes reflects spiritual or emotional patterns seeking your awareness? For thousands of years, wisdom traditions across cultures have recognized this intimate connection between physical sensations and inner experience. The Zen Buddhist tradition in particular offers us the beautiful concept of Shin-Shin Ichinyo, body and mind as one, not two separate entities, but a single flowing reality. When we begin to understand this unity, we open ourselves to healing that addresses not just symptoms, but sources. Breathe deeply now. Feel the gentle rhythm of your breath entering and leaving your body. With each inhalation, imagine fresh energy flowing into every cell. With each exhalation, allow tension to melt away. This simple awareness of breath is a cornerstone of Zen practice, a bridge between the conscious and unconscious aspects of yourself. As you continue to breathe naturally, let's explore how different areas of your body might be communicating with you. Remember, this exploration is offered with deep respect for your unique experience. There is no judgment here, only curiosity and compassion. These perspectives don't replace medical care, but complement it with wisdom that honors your whole being. Let's begin with the head, the crown of your physical form. If you experience frequent headaches or tension in this area, Zen wisdom might invite you to consider: are you perhaps living too much in thoughts? Is your analytical mind working overtime, trying to solve everything through thinking alone? The Japanese Zen concept of mushin, literally no mind, teaches us that our deepest wisdom often emerges when we allow the thinking mind to rest. Your headaches might be gentle reminders to find balance between thinking and being, between analysis and intuition. Ancient Buddhist texts speak of the head as our connection point to higher awareness. When this area feels constricted or painful, it might reflect a disconnection from your intuitive wisdom. Perhaps your body is inviting you to trust something beyond thoughts, the knowing that resides in silence, in presence, in the spaces between your busy thoughts. With each breath now, imagine soothing energy flowing into your head region. You don't need to change anything or force any particular feeling. Simply allow awareness to rest here with kindness. Sometimes, the simple act of bringing gentle attention to an area of discomfort creates space for natural healing to begin. Moving now to the neck, the bridge between your head and your heart. The neck allows your head to turn and see different perspectives. Pain or stiffness here might reflect a certain rigidity in viewpoint, a reluctance to see situations from different angles. In Zen practice, flexibility of mind is highly valued, the ability to adapt, to see beyond our habitual perspectives. Your neck also represents the integration of thought and feeling, of mind and heart. Discomfort here might ask, is there harmony between what you think and what you feel? Are your actions aligned with your deeper values? The Buddha taught the importance of right view, seeing clearly without distortion. Perhaps your neck is inviting you to align your perceptions more closely with your heart's wisdom. As you breathe, allow your awareness to gently surround your neck area. Notice any sensations present without trying to change them. In this simple noticing, you're already beginning a healing dialogue with your body's wisdom. The throat center relates to expression and truth in many traditions. It governs how we communicate our innermost reality to the world around us. Persistent sore throats, voice issues, or discomfort in this region might be asking, are you speaking your truth? Are there words that need to be expressed? Or perhaps words that would be better left unspoken? Zen Buddhism places great emphasis on right speech, communication that is truthful, helpful, and timely. Your throat may be inviting you to examine how you use the power of words. Are you expressing yourself authentically? Are you listening deeply to others? Are you allowing silence its rightful place in your communication? The Buddha once said, "Words have the power to both destroy and heal. When words are both true and kind, they can change our world." Your throat center might be asking you to bring more mindfulness to how you express yourself and how you receive the expressions of others. As you continue to breathe gently, allow your awareness to rest in your throat area. Without judgment or analysis, simply notice the sensations present. Your body knows how to move toward balance when given the gift of your kind attention. Move in now to your heart center, the seat of your emotional life. In Zen Buddhism, the heart mind, kokoro, is considered the true center of our being. Physical discomfort in your chest, heart palpitations, or breathing difficulties may have medical causes that require attention. But these symptoms might also reflect emotional patterns seeking acknowledgement. Is your heart carrying unprocessed grief? Have past hurts created protective barriers around your capacity to feel deeply? The Buddhist practice of metta, loving kindness, begins with extending compassion toward yourself especially to the parts of your experience that feel wounded or vulnerable. A Zen story tells of a student who asked his teacher, "Master, what is the most important thing?" The teacher replied, "An open heart." Whatever your heart has experienced, joy or sorrow, connection or loss, it continues to beat, continues to sustain your life moment by moment. This remarkable organ deserves your friendship, your understanding. Breathe gently into your heart space now. Imagine your breath like a soft light, illuminating this vital center with warmth and acceptance. You might silently offer words of appreciation to your heart for its constant service, its unfailing rhythm that continues even when you're unaware of it. Your lungs, embracing your heart, connect you to the world through breath. Every inhalation brings the outside world into your body. Every exhalation returns something of yourself to the greater whole. Breathing difficulties might reflect not just physical conditions, but also our relationship with receiving and giving, with allowing life to flow through us without restriction. Zen meditation begins and ends with awareness of breath, not controlling it, not forcing it, but simply witnessing its natural rhythm. This witnessing itself can bring profound relaxation as your nervous system recognizes that all is well, that you are safely held in the embrace of the present moment. Take several deep, nourishing breaths now. Feel how your entire torso expands to receive the breath, then naturally releases it. This rhythm has been with you since your first moment of life and will remain until your last. It is perhaps the most fundamental meditation, this simple attention to the miracle of breathing. Moving now to your digestive system, the region that processes what you take in from the world. Stomach discomfort, digestive issues, or imbalances in this area are incredibly common in our modern life. Beyond physical causes like diet and bacteria, this region often reflects our relationship with experience itself, how we digest life's events. Zen practice includes mindful eating, paying full attention to the taste, texture, and nourishment of food. This mindfulness naturally extends to how we consume everything: information, relationships, material possessions. Your digestive system might be asking, what am I struggling to process or accept? Am I taking in more than I need, not just food, but stimulation, information, or emotional intensity? The Buddha taught the middle way, a path of moderation between extremes. This wisdom applies beautifully to our relationship with consumption of all kinds. Perhaps your digestive system is inviting you toward greater balance, toward taking in just what serves your highest good. As you breathe, allow awareness to gently surround your stomach and intestines. These organs work tirelessly to nourish you, to extract what's beneficial and release what's not needed. In their wisdom is a powerful metaphor for living. Receive what serves you, let go of what doesn't, all with equanimity and trust in the process. The liver, in both Eastern and Western traditions, is associated with processing emotions, particularly anger, frustration, and resentment. When these emotions become chronic or remain unexpressed, they can affect the function of this vital organ. Liver issues might be asking, where am I holding on to anger? What resentments am I carrying that are ready to be released? The Buddhist practice of forgiveness is not about condoning harmful actions, but about freeing yourself from the burden of carrying resentment. This doesn't mean suppressing legitimate feelings or pretending all is well when it isn't. Rather, it means acknowledging the full truth of your experience while choosing not to be defined or limited by past hurts. Thich Nhat Hanh, the beloved Zen master, offers this wisdom. Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. Your liver might be inviting you to examine where you can release emotional burdens that no longer serve you. Breathe gently, allowing awareness to rest in the area of your liver. This remarkable organ performs hundreds of essential functions to maintain your health. It deserves your friendship, your understanding, and the gift of emotional balance that comes from processing feelings as they arise rather than storing them. Your kidneys, according to many healing traditions, relate to our most fundamental fears, particularly fears around survival and security. These vital organs filter your blood, maintaining the delicate balance of fluids and minerals that sustain your life. When kidney function is compromised, it might reflect deeper patterns of fear or anxiety that have become chronic. Zen Buddhism offers us the concept of non-fear, not as the absence of fear, but as the capacity to be with fear without being controlled by it. Fear arises naturally in certain situations as a protective mechanism. The suffering comes not from the fear itself, but from our resistance to it, our identification with it, our belief that we are our fears. As the Buddha said, fear is a natural reaction to moving closer to the truth. Sometimes what we fear most is not danger, but our own capacity for awakening, for living fully. Your kidneys might be asking you to examine your relationship with fear itself, to recognize where protective caution has perhaps become limiting avoidance. As you continue to breathe naturally, allow awareness to gently surround your kidney region. These remarkable organs are constantly working to maintain your body's delicate balance. They deserve your appreciation, your understanding, and the sense of basic safety that comes from recognizing your intrinsic belonging in the web of life. Moving to your lower abdomen, the region associated in many traditions with creativity, vitality, and procreative energy. In Japanese Zen practice, this area is called the hara, considered the physical and energetic center of your being. Cultivating awareness of the hara is central to many meditation traditions because it grounds awareness in the body rather than leaving it trapped in thought. Discomfort in this region might reflect blocked creative expression, unhealed relationship patterns, or disconnection from your vital life force. This area might be asking, have I honored my creative impulses? Have I allowed past wounds around intimacy or relationship to be acknowledged and healed? Am I living from my center rather than from fear or external validation? Zen practice encourages us to find our true center, not as an intellectual concept, but as a lived experience of being grounded in our authentic nature. When we operate from this center, our actions have a different quality, more direct, more honest, more in harmony with life itself. As you breathe, allow your awareness to settle into your lower abdomen. Feel the gentle movement of breath here. This region contains your physical center of gravity. Connecting with it brings a natural sense of stability and presence, like a tree well rooted in the earth. Your spine, the literal backbone of your physical structure, carries profound metaphorical significance. Back pain is extraordinarily common in our modern world, and while physical factors like posture and movement patterns play a significant role, there's often an energetic dimension to consider as well. In many spiritual traditions, the spine represents integrity, support, and the courage to stand in your truth. Back pain might be asking, am I carrying burdens that aren't mine to bear? Have I compromised my integrity in some area of life? Am I providing support for others while neglecting my own needs for support and care? Zen meditation teaches proper posture, sitting like a mountain, with a straight but not rigid spine. This physical alignment reflects and supports spiritual alignment, living in accordance with your deepest values, supporting yourself with self-care and healthy boundaries, maintaining flexibility while not collapsing under pressure. As you breathe, bring gentle awareness to your spine, from its base all the way up to where it meets your skull. This remarkable structure supports you throughout your life, allowing both stability and movement. It deserves your respect, your care, and the alignment that comes from living in harmony with your authentic nature. Your legs and feet form your foundation, your connection to the earth. They enable movement, exploration, and the literal journey through your life. Pain or discomfort in these areas might reflect your relationship with your path in life, your direction, your stability, your willingness to move forward. Zen Buddhism includes walking meditation, Kin-hin, as an essential practice, recognizing that mindfulness isn't limited to seated stillness, but extends to movement as well. Each step becomes an opportunity for presence, for feeling your connection to the earth that supports you unconditionally. Leg or foot pain might be asking, do I feel grounded and secure in my life path? Am I moving forward in alignment with my values? Am I maintaining balance between movement and rest, between doing and being? As you breathe, allow awareness to flow down through your legs to your feet. These remarkable structures bear your weight, maintain your balance, and enable you to navigate through the world. They deserve your gratitude, your care, and the steady progress that comes from taking one mindful step at a time. Your skin, your largest organ and your boundary with the world, speaks its own unique language. Skin conditions might reflect sensitivity to your environment, challenges with boundaries, or emotions seeking expression. This remarkable organ constantly mediates between your inner reality and the outer world, protecting you while allowing necessary exchange. In Buddhist understanding, healthy boundaries are neither rigid walls nor complete absence of protection. Rather, they are mindful membranes that allow connection while maintaining integrity. Skin issues might be asking, where do I need clearer boundaries? What am I absorbing from my environment that doesn't serve me? What needs to find expression from within? The Zen concept of just this, being fully present with what is, applies beautifully to skin conditions. Instead of rejecting or fighting against these manifestations, can you bring gentle curiosity to what is expressing itself through your skin? This non-judgmental awareness itself often creates space for healing. As you breathe, imagine your breath gently touching your skin from the inside, bringing nourishment and ease to every cell. Your skin has been with you since before birth. constantly renewing itself, constantly adapting to protect you. It deserves your appreciation, your understanding, and the clear boundaries that allow you to engage with the world on your own terms. A crucial understanding in this exploration: none of this is about blame or judgment. Your body's messages are not punishments or failings. They are invitations to awareness, to healing, to greater alignment between your physical experience and your deeper nature. This perspective aligns with the Buddhist understanding of karma, not as punishment, but as the natural unfolding of causes and conditions, as teacher rather than judge. Your body's patterns aren't condemning you, they're communicating with you. They're showing you where energy may have become stuck, where healing may be needed, where attention might serve your highest good. This communication comes not from criticism, but from the deep wisdom that animates every cell of your being. The Buddha taught that suffering arises not from pain itself, but from our resistance to pain, our judgments about it, our stories around it. When we fight against physical discomfort, we often create a second layer of suffering, mental and emotional distress that compounds the physical experience. Zen practice offers the radical alternative of being present with sensation just as it is, neither pushing it away nor becoming identified with it. In this spacious presence, we discover that even intense sensations naturally arise, change, and pass away. Nothing is permanent. Everything is in constant flux. As you continue to breathe gently, notice if there's any area of your body that's currently speaking to you through sensation. Without trying to change anything, can you simply bring kind awareness to this area? Can you listen without immediately trying to fix or judge or analyze? This simple, compassionate presence is the beginning of a healing dialogue with your body's wisdom. Now, let's explore some practical approaches for working with your body's messages, drawing from Zen Buddhist traditions while honoring your unique experience. First, the practice of deep listening. Before rushing to silence symptoms, pause and create space to receive their communication. This doesn't mean ignoring medical care. It means complementing it with inner awareness. Zen offers the practice of the body scan, moving your attention slowly through your body with friendly curiosity, noting sensations without judgment. This simple practice can reveal insights that thinking alone cannot access. Try it now if you wish. Starting at the crown of your head, allow your awareness to slowly move downward. Forehead, eyes, cheeks, jaw, neck, shoulders, and onward through your body. At each area, simply notice what sensations are present. No need to change anything, just acknowledging what is here. This kind of embodied awareness brings you into direct contact with your present experience rather than conceptual ideas about your body. From this direct contact, wisdom naturally arises, not as thought, but as intuitive knowing. The second approach is honoring emotions as they arise in your body. Many physical symptoms have emotional components, emotions that have perhaps gone unacknowledged or unexpressed. Anger, grief, fear. These aren't just mental states. They're physical experiences that, when suppressed, can manifest as symptoms. Buddhism teaches that emotions are like weather patterns. They arise, they pass. The suffering comes not from having emotions, but from either clinging to pleasant ones or rejecting uncomfortable ones. Practice acknowledging all emotional states with equanimity, recognizing their temporary nature. Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh offers this guidance. Feelings come and go like clouds in a windy sky. Conscious breathing is my anchor. When you notice emotional energy in your body, can you simply acknowledge its presence, breathe with it, allow it to be as it is without feeding it with stories? This simple presence often allows emotional energy to move and transform rather than becoming stuck. The third approach is exploring the healing power of presence itself. Many spiritual traditions, especially Zen, emphasize that simply being fully present has enormous healing potential. When you're truly present, energy that has been stuck begins to flow, patterns begin to shift, healing becomes possible. The Zen teaching of being present with what is isn't passive resignation. It's active engagement with reality as it unfolds. This presence itself can be deeply healing for body and spirit alike. Practice bringing your full attention to this moment, not divided between past and future, not fragmented among many concerns, but fully here with what is. Notice the sensations in your body, the sounds around you, the rhythm of your breath. In this undivided presence, you touch life directly, and healing naturally emerges. A fourth approach is practicing compassion, especially self-compassion. Judging your symptoms or being frustrated with your body only creates more tension. Instead, approach your body with the same kindness you would offer a dear friend who's suffering. The Buddhist practice of metta, loving kindness, can be directed towards specific parts of your body that are in pain. Rather than resisting discomfort, try directing thoughts like, "May you be at ease, may you be peaceful," toward areas of tension or pain. Imagine speaking to a part of your body that's in pain as you would to a frightened child. With gentleness, with reassurance, with patience. This compassionate approach creates a very different internal environment than frustration or rejection. An environment where healing is much more likely to flourish. The fifth approach is recognizing patterns in your physical experience. Notice if certain symptoms appear in specific situations or emotional states. These patterns can reveal connections between your physical sensations and your mental, emotional landscape. Zen Buddhism teaches us to notice patterns without becoming entangled in them, to see with clarity but without attachment. This clear seeing is the beginning of transformation. When you recognize, for instance, that your shoulders tense during certain conversations, or your stomach tightens in certain environments, you gain valuable information about how your body responds to your life circumstances. This pattern recognition isn't about blame, but about awareness. When you see clearly how various factors influence your physical experience, you gain the freedom to make different choices, choices that support your well-being rather than compromise it. As you continue to breathe gently, reflect on whether you've noticed any patterns in your body's responses to different situations in your life. This reflection isn't about analysis, but about allowing insight to emerge naturally from your lived experience. The sixth approach is working with qualified practitioners who understand the body-mind-spirit connection. From skilled acupuncturists to somatic therapists to energy workers, many modalities recognize and work with this holistic understanding of health. Remember the Buddhist middle way, avoiding extremes of either rejecting conventional medicine or relying solely on spiritual explanations. Wisdom lies in integration, in both, and rather than either-or thinking. Your healing journey may include various approaches that complement each other, each addressing different aspects of your whole being. Finally, understand that healing is a journey, not a destination. Your body's language will evolve as you evolve. New sensations may arise not as setbacks, but as signs of deeper layers ready to be addressed. The Zen concept of beginner's mind applies beautifully here, approaching each day, each sensation, each practice with fresh eyes, without assumptions about what it should be. This openness itself creates space for healing to unfold in its own unique way. Your body is not your enemy. It's not punishing you. It's your most loyal companion, constantly communicating, constantly seeking harmony. Even chronic pain, even serious illness, contains within it seeds of wisdom if we're willing to listen with patience and kindness. As you continue to breathe gently, allow a sense of appreciation to fill you for this remarkable body that carries you through life. Whatever its current condition, whether vibrant with health or challenged by illness or pain, it serves you with incredible intelligence and resilience. It deserves your friendship, your understanding, and your partnership in the journey toward wholeness. The Buddha taught that understanding comes not from thinking about reality, but from direct experience of it. Your body offers you this direct experience, moment by moment. The truth of sensation, rather than the stories about sensation. When you learn to listen to your body with compassion and clarity, you discover not just information about physical conditions, but wisdom about life itself. As this exploration continues, remember that there's no rush, no destination to reach. Healing unfolds in its own time, in its own way. Your role is simply to create the conditions where healing can flourish. Conditions of awareness, acceptance, and gentle care. Breathe deeply now. Feel in the rhythm of your breath moving through your body. This simple breath connects you to all living beings who share this same essential rhythm. It connects you to the trees and plants that create the oxygen you breathe. It connects you to the vast cycles of giving and receiving that sustain all life. In this interconnection, you are never truly alone. Your experience, including any pain or difficulty you may be facing, exists within a much larger context of shared human experience. The Buddha recognized this universal nature of suffering and the universal potential for liberation from suffering. This recognition was not depressing, but profoundly freeing. When we understand that challenges are part of the human condition, we can hold our own difficulties with greater perspective and less personal identification. As you listen to these words, perhaps beginning to drift towards sleep, know that the wisdom we've explored continues to work in you even beyond conscious awareness. The seeds of healing are planted not just in your thinking mind, but in the deeper soil of your being. These seeds will grow in their own time, in their own way, bringing fruit that may surprise and delight you as your journey unfolds. The Zen tradition reminds us that our essential nature is already complete, already whole. Healing isn't about becoming something you're not. It's about removing the obstacles to recognizing what you already are beneath the layers of conditioning, beneath the patterns of tension, beneath the habits of thought that may have obscured your natural state of well-being. Rest now in this natural state, not trying to achieve or become anything, but simply allowing yourself to be as you are in this moment, complete, whole, exactly as you should be. As you continue to rest and listen, let the gentle rhythm of these words carry you deeper into relaxation. There's nothing you need to do right now except receive. Your body knows how to heal, how to restore balance, how to move toward wholeness. Your conscious mind can simply step back and allow this natural intelligence to do its work. The Zen tradition speaks of Wu Wei, action through non-action, accomplishment through non-doing. This paradoxical wisdom reminds us that sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is to stop doing, to cease our striving and controlling, and allow life to flow through us unimpeded. In this state of receptive presence, healing often occurs naturally, without effort. Let's continue our gentle exploration of how your body communicates its wisdom through sensation. Remember that this perspective is offered not as absolute truth, but as an invitation to see your physical experience through a different lens. One that honors the profound connection between your body, mind, and spirit. In the Buddhist understanding, these three aspects are not separate entities, but different expressions of a single reality. Your thoughts influence your physical state. Your physical condition affects your emotional landscape. Your spiritual awareness transforms how you experience both thought and sensation. These dimensions constantly interweave, constantly inform each other. Consider how quickly your body responds to a thought of danger. Your heart rate increases, your muscles tense, your breathing changes. These physical responses happen automatically, without conscious direction. Similarly, when you're physically ill or in pain, your thoughts and emotions are affected. This intimate connection works in all directions, creating a dynamic system that's constantly seeking balance. The Buddha recognized this interconnection over 2,600 years ago, long before modern science began to explore the relationships between stress and illness, between emotional states and physical health. This ancient wisdom doesn't contradict medical understanding, but complements it, adding dimensions of awareness that purely physical explanations might overlook. Let's explore more deeply how this understanding might illuminate your experience of pain or physical discomfort. Pain itself is not the enemy in the Buddhist view. Pain is simply information, the body's signal that something needs attention. The suffering arises not from the pain itself, but from our resistance to it, our fear of it, our stories about what it means. Imagine touching a hot stove. The immediate pain causes you to withdraw your hand, protecting you from further injury. This pain serves a vital purpose. It's a messenger carrying important information. The problem comes when pain persists beyond its usefulness, when the message continues after it's been delivered and acknowledged. In chronic pain conditions, the nervous system may become sensitized, sending pain signals even when there's no immediate danger to tissues. Modern pain science recognizes this phenomenon, that persistent pain often reflects altered nervous system function rather than ongoing tissue damage. The pain is real, intensely so, but its meaning may be different than in acute injury. Zen practice offers powerful approaches for working with persistent pain. Instead of fighting against pain or becoming identified with it, we learn to observe it with spacious awareness. We notice its qualities, its location, intensity, texture. We notice how it changes moment by moment, rather than seeing it as solid or permanent. We notice the distinction between the sensation itself and our thoughts about the sensation. This mindful observation doesn't necessarily eliminate pain, but it often transforms our relationship with it. The pain may still be present, but it becomes just one aspect of our experience rather than defining or dominating it. Many people discover that when they stop fighting against pain, it somehow becomes more manageable, less overwhelming. The Buddha offered a powerful teaching through the metaphor of two arrows. The first arrow is the unavoidable pain of life, the physical sensations that arise from illness, injury, or aging. The second arrow is what we add to that experience through resistance, judgment, or fear. While we may not always be able to avoid the first arrow, we can learn not to shoot ourselves with the second. As you continue to breathe gently, notice if there's any area of discomfort in your body right now. Without trying to change this sensation, can you simply observe it with kind attention? Notice its qualities, its boundaries, how it might shift as you breathe with it. This simple, non-reactive observation is the beginning of transforming your relationship with pain. Another dimension of understanding pain comes from recognizing patterns that may connect physical sensations with emotional states or life circumstances. These connections aren't about blame, they're about awareness, about recognizing the wholeness of your experience rather than fragmenting it into separate categories. For example, many people notice that stress manifests in predictable physical ways, perhaps as tension in the shoulders, tightness in the jaw, or discomfort in the stomach. These physical expressions of stress aren't imaginary or just psychological. They're real bodily responses to emotional states. Understanding these patterns gives you valuable information about how your unique system responds to different life conditions. Similarly, physical illness or injury affects your emotional landscape. Anyone who has experienced significant pain knows how it can influence mood, patience, and perspective. Again, these emotional responses aren't weakness or failure. They're natural aspects of being human, of having a body that feels and a mind that interprets those feelings. The Zen approach invites us to see these interconnections not as problems, but as expressions of our wholeness. Rather than trying to isolate physical symptoms from emotional states, we can acknowledge how they flow into and inform each other. This integrated understanding often opens new possibilities for healing that addressing only the physical dimension might miss. As you listen to these words, perhaps growing drowsy as sleep approaches, know that this wisdom continues to work in you beyond conscious awareness. Your deeper mind receives and integrates these perspectives, allowing new understandings to emerge in their own time, in their own way. Now, let's explore some specific areas of the body and how they might communicate through sensation, drawing from both Buddhist tradition and contemporary understanding of mind-body connection. The eyes, our windows to the visible world, often reflect how we see both literally and metaphorically. Eye strain, vision issues, or eye discomfort might ask, am I seeing situations clearly? Is there something I'm refusing to see? Am I overexposed to stimulation without sufficient rest? The Buddha spoke of right view as the first aspect of the Eightfold Path, seeing reality clearly without distortion from fear, desire, or ignorance. Your eyes might be inviting you to examine how you perceive your life circumstances, to question whether your view is clouded by judgments or projections. Zen meditation often includes periods of keeping the eyes slightly open, gazing softly downward, neither shutting out the world nor fixating on visual objects. This middle way of seeing mirrors the balanced awareness that sees reality neither through rose-colored glasses nor through the lens of cynicism, but with clear, compassionate recognition of what is. As you breathe, allow your eyes to rest, perhaps gently closed if you're preparing for sleep. These remarkable organs that have shown you countless images deserve periods of darkness, of rest from constant stimulation. In this restful darkness, a different kind of seeing can emerge. The inner vision that perceives not through physical light, but through the light of awareness itself. The ears, our connection to the world of sound, may communicate through conditions like tinnitus, sensitivity to noise, or frequent ear infections. These symptoms might ask, what am I hearing or not hearing? Am I listening to my inner wisdom? Am I overwhelmed by external noise without sufficient silence? Zen practice places great value on deep listening, not just to external sounds, but to the subtle voices of intuition, of conscience, of the heart's knowing. True listening happens not just with the ears, but with our entire being, a receptive presence that takes in not just words, but the spaces between words, not just sounds, but the silence from which all sound emerges. The Buddha encouraged his disciples to listen with full attention, without planning their response, while another was speaking. This complete listening creates a very different quality of understanding than the partial attention we often give, while our minds are already formulating replies. As you breathe, allow your awareness to rest in your ears, in the sensations of hearing. Notice the sounds around you without labeling or judging them. Even if you're in a quiet environment, there are likely subtle sounds, the whisper of your breath, distant environmental noises, the gentle rushing of blood in your ears. This simple attention to hearing can bring you deeply into the present moment, into direct contact with life as it unfolds now. The jaw area carries tension for many people in our modern world. Clenching, grinding, TMJ pain. These common conditions might reflect unexpressed words, suppressed emotions, or the habit of gritting your teeth through difficult situations rather than acknowledging their impact. In Zen temples, meals are eaten in silence, with full attention to the act of chewing, tasting, swallowing. This mindful eating naturally relaxes the jaw, allowing it to perform its function without the added tension of rushing or unconscious stress. Your jaw might be inviting you to bring this kind of mindful attention to how you receive nourishment, how you process experience, how you express or withhold expression. As you breathe, allow your awareness to rest in your jaw area. Notice if there's tension here, and without trying to force relaxation, simply invite softening with your attention. The hinge of your jaw is designed to move freely, to open and close without strain. Remembering this natural capacity for ease can itself invite a letting go of unnecessary tension. The shoulders, for many people, carry the weight of responsibilities, burdens, and stress. Shoulder pain, tension, or restricted movement might reflect what you're metaphorically carrying in your life. These symptoms might ask, am I taking on burdens that aren't mine to bear? Am I reaching out to others for support when needed? Have I found balance between giving and receiving? Zen practice emphasizes the importance of understanding our true responsibility, what genuinely belongs to us to carry and what doesn't. The Buddha taught that we are responsible for our own actions and their consequences, but not for controlling outcomes beyond our influence. Your shoulders might be inviting you to examine where you've taken on responsibilities that aren't truly yours, or where you might benefit from allowing others to share your legitimate burdens. A beautiful Zen saying reminds us, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. Our responsibilities don't disappear with spiritual awareness, but our relationship to them transforms. We carry what's ours to carry with presence rather than resistance, with acceptance rather than resentment. As you breathe, allow your awareness to rest in your shoulders. Notice their position, any sensations present. Without forcing change, simply invite them to release whatever they don't need to hold right now. Imagine them softening, widening, finding their natural posture of dignity without strain. The arms and hands, our implements for action in the world, often speak through conditions like carpal tunnel syndrome, arthritis, or unexplained pain. These symptoms might reflect your relationship with doing, with work, with how you reach out to affect your environment. In Zen monasteries, even the most mundane tasks, cooking, cleaning, gardening, are approached as spiritual practice. This mindful action transforms chores into opportunities for presence, for expressing care through how tasks are performed rather than just achieving results. Your arms and hands might be inviting you to bring this quality of presence to your daily activities, to value process as much as outcome. The Buddhist concept of right action encourages us to consider not just what we do, but how and why we do it. Actions performed with mindfulness, with ethical consideration, with genuine care, have a different quality than the same actions done mechanically or with resentment. This difference is felt not just by others, but in our own bodies. As you breathe, allow awareness to flow through your arms to your hands. These remarkable extensions of yourself have allowed you to touch the world, to create, to connect with others through gesture and embrace. Notice any sensations present without judgment, simply acknowledging how these faithful servants of your intentions might be feeling right now. The chest and ribs create a protective cage around your vital organs, while also allowing the essential movement of breath. Tension in this area might reflect a guarding of your heart, emotionally as well as physically. These symptoms might ask, where have I created barriers around my emotional vulnerability? Am I allowing my breath, my life force, to flow freely? Is there grief or other emotion being held in this region? Zen practice includes conscious breathing that gently expands the rib cage in all directions, front, sides, and back. This full breathing naturally massages the heart and other organs, bringing fresh blood and oxygen to tissues while releasing tension. your chest area might be inviting you to breathe more fully, to allow emotional energy to flow rather than becoming constricted. In the Buddhist understanding, protection of the heart doesn't mean walling it off from experience, but developing the capacity to remain open even amidst difficulty. True strength comes not from armoring ourselves against feeling, but from cultivating the courage to feel fully while maintaining our center. As you breathe, allow your awareness to surround your ribcage, the protective basket that houses your heart and lungs. Feel how it expands and contracts with each breath, how it provides both structure and flexibility. Imagine each breath gently massaging your heart, bringing nourishment and ease to this vital center of your being. The upper back between the shoulder blades often carries tension related to emotional support and heart protection. Discomfort here might reflect feeling unsupported, carrying hidden burdens, or bracing yourself against vulnerability. This area might ask, where do I need more support in my life? Am I allowing myself to receive care as well as give it? What am I protecting my heart from experiencing? In Zen archery, the area between the shoulder blades is considered crucial for proper form. When there's tension here, the arrow cannot fly true. Similarly, when this area is constricted emotionally, our actions may not align with our true intentions. Your upper back might be inviting you to examine where you're bracing against life rather than flowing with it. The Buddha spoke of dependent origination, the understanding that nothing exists in isolation, that all beings and phenomena arise in relationship to countless supporting conditions. This teaching reminds us that seeking support isn't weakness, but recognition of our interconnectedness. Just as trees with the deepest roots can grow the tallest, humans with the strongest support systems can reach their fullest potential. As you breathe, bring gentle awareness to the space between your shoulder blades. Notice any sensations present. Without forcing change, simply invite this area to soften, to receive the support of whatever surface you're resting on. This region deserves to feel held, to release the vigilance of constant self-protection. The middle back supports your upper body while allowing movement in multiple directions. Pain here might reflect feeling caught in the middle of conflicting demands, carrying financial or material burdens, or lacking flexibility in your approach to life challenges. This area might ask, am I finding balance amidst competing responsibilities? Am I adaptable when circumstances change? Do I trust the support beneath me? Zen teaching includes the concept of not knowing mind, approaching situations with openness rather than rigid preconceptions. This mental flexibility allows appropriate response to what's actually happening rather than reaction based on fixed ideas. Your middle back might be inviting you to cultivate this kind of adaptability, to bend without breaking when life presents unexpected challenges. The parable of the bamboo illustrates this wisdom beautifully. The bamboo bends low under the weight of heavy snow, allowing the snow to slide off rather than accumulating until the branch breaks. Once unburdened, the bamboo springs back to its original position. This yielding strength, different from either rigid resistance or collapse, exemplifies the middle way that Buddhism recommends. As you breathe, allow awareness to rest in your middle back. Feel how this remarkable structure supports you while allowing movement in many directions. Notice any areas of tension or discomfort without judgment, simply acknowledging what is present while inviting natural ease to return in its own time. The abdomen, the soft, vulnerable center of your physical body, holds many of your vital organs and digestive functions. Beyond the digestive aspects we explored earlier, this region also relates to your core sense of safety, stability, and intuitive knowing. Tension or pain here might reflect feeling unsafe, ungrounded, or disconnected from your instinctual wisdom. In many meditation traditions, including Zen, practitioners are encouraged to focus attention on the lower abdomen, the hara, as a way of centering awareness in the body rather than leaving it scattered among thoughts. This embodied presence brings a natural sense of groundedness, of being fully here rather than lost in concept or speculation. Your abdominal region might be asking, do I feel fundamentally safe in my existence? Am I connected to my intuitive knowing, my gut feelings? Have I created a stable center from which to engage with life's challenges? The Buddha taught the importance of establishing a firm foundation for practice, like a house built on solid ground rather than shifting sand. This foundation includes both external conditions like basic security and internal qualities like ethical integrity. When we feel fundamentally unsafe, it's difficult to open to the fuller dimensions of our experience. As you breathe, allow your awareness to rest in your abdomen. Feel how this area softens and expands with each inhalation, gently contracts with each exhalation. This natural movement connects you to the most basic rhythm of life, the constant exchange of receiving and releasing, taking in and letting go. As your abdomen softens, you may notice a deeper sense of being at home in your body, of belonging exactly where you are. The hips and pelvis form the basin that holds your lower organs and connects your upper body to your legs. This region relates to movement, stability, and in many traditions, to creative and sexual energy. Pain or tension here might reflect resistance to change, old emotional trauma being held in these tissues, or disconnection from your creative life force. In Zen walking meditation, practitioners are taught to move from the center of the pelvis, allowing the legs to swing naturally from this stable core. This centered walking brings a quality of dignity, of groundedness, of being moved from within, rather than pushing forward through willpower alone. Your hip region might be inviting you toward this kind of centered movement through life, neither rushing ahead of yourself nor holding back from full engagement. The Buddhist understanding of impermanence reminds us that everything is in constant flow, constant change. Resistance to this fundamental reality creates tension. Acceptance allows graceful movement with the ever-changing currents of life. Your hips might be asking you to examine where you're resisting necessary change or movement in your life journey. As you breathe, allow awareness to surround your hip region. Notice the weight of your pelvis against whatever surface is supporting you. Feel the natural heaviness here, the way this area grounds you while also enabling movement. Without trying to change anything, simply acknowledge whatever sensations are present, allowing this powerful center of your body to find its natural alignment. The lower back, a vulnerable area for many people in modern life, supports your upper body while connecting to your pelvis and legs. Pain here often reflects feeling unsupported in fundamental ways, carrying financial or material burdens, or lacking proper foundation in some area of life. This region might be asking, do I have adequate support for my life journey? Am I carrying burdens in isolation that could be shared? Have I created a stable foundation for my endeavors? The Buddha encouraged his followers to seek noble friends, companions on the path who support healthy development, rather than reinforcing harmful patterns. This teaching recognizes that while our spiritual journey is ultimately our own responsibility, supportive relationships create conditions where growth is more likely to flourish. Zen practice includes proper physical support during meditation, a stable cushion or bench that allows the spine to find its natural alignment. This physical support mirrors the importance of creating stable conditions in our lives generally, circumstances that support our well-being rather than undermining it. As you breathe, bring gentle awareness to your lower back. Notice how this region feels right now. Any sensations of tension, discomfort, or ease. Without trying to change anything, simply acknowledge what is present, while allowing this vital supportive structure to be held by whatever surface you're resting on. Sometimes simply recognizing where we need support is the beginning of allowing ourselves to receive it. The knees, the hinges that allow both stability and flexibility in your legs, often speak through pain, stiffness, or injury. These symptoms might reflect your approach to forward movement in life, your willingness to bend rather than break under pressure, or your balance between determination and surrender. In Zen practice, walking meditation includes mindful attention to the lifting, moving, and placing of each foot. This conscious movement naturally brings awareness to the knees and their remarkable function in enabling both standing firm and fluid motion. Your knees might be inviting you to find this balance in your life approach, knowing when to stand your ground and when to yield, when to persist and when to adapt. The Buddhist middle way applies beautifully here, finding the balance between extremes, between rigid inflexibility and collapsing without structure. This balance isn't static but responsive, adapting to changing conditions while maintaining integrity. As you breathe, allow awareness to rest in your knee joints. These remarkable hinges have supported you through countless steps, allowed you to sit and rise again, adapted to varying terrains throughout your life journey. Notice any sensations present without judgment, simply acknowledging how these faithful servants of your mobility are feeling in this moment. The ankles, often overlooked until they hurt, provide essential stability while allowing intricate adjustments to varying surfaces. Ankle pain or weakness might reflect feeling unstable in your life path, lacking adaptability to changing circumstances, or uncertainty about your direction. Zen practice includes full attention to each step during walking meditation, feeling the contact of foot with ground, the subtle adjustments each ankle makes to maintain balance. This mindful attention brings appreciation for these complex joints that literally keep us stable as we move through the world. Your ankles might be inviting you to notice where you need more stability in your life path, or perhaps greater adaptability to uneven terrain. The Buddhist teaching of impermanence reminds us that stable footing doesn't mean rigid fixity, but skillful adaptation to constantly changing conditions. True stability comes not from resisting change, but from developing the inner resources to respond appropriately as circumstances evolve. As you breathe, bring gentle awareness to your ankle joints. Feel how they connect your feet to your legs, how they enable both stability and movement. These complex structures have supported literally every step of your life journey. Notice any sensations present with friendly interest, allowing these vital joints to rest completely as they deserve to do. The feet, your most direct contact with the earth, carry you through your life journey while constantly adapting to different surfaces and demands. Foot pain, plantar fasciitis, or tension here might reflect your connection to the ground of being, your willingness to move forward on your path, or your fundamental trust in life support. In many Buddhist traditions, including Zen, practitioners begin meditation by bringing awareness to the points where their body contacts the earth, often through the sitting bones, knees, and feet. This deliberate grounding creates a foundation for presence, a literal and energetic connection to what supports us. Your feet might be asking, do I feel connected to the earth, to what fundamentally supports me? Am I moving forward on my life path with confidence or hesitation? Am I aware of where I'm actually standing right now, or am I lost in thoughts about elsewhere? The Buddha encouraged his followers to be islands unto themselves, not in the sense of isolation, but in the sense of finding stability within, rather than constantly seeking it externally. This inner stability allows confident movement through life, regardless of whether the path is smooth or rocky. As you breathe, allow awareness to flow into your feet. These remarkable structures contain 26 bones each, arranged in arches that distribute your weight and absorb shock with every step. They have carried you faithfully through your entire life. Notice any sensations present with appreciation for how these often overlooked parts of yourself connect you literally to the ground beneath you. Now, having explored these different regions of your body and how they might communicate through sensation, let's remember again that this understanding isn't about blame or judgment. Your body's messages are not criticisms or failings. They're communications from the deep wisdom that animates every cell. In the Buddhist view, the body itself is neither good nor bad. It simply is what it is, a collection of elements temporarily configured in this particular form. What creates suffering is our relationship with the body, our attachment to how we think it should be, our aversion to how it actually is in this moment, our identification with it as a fixed self rather than a flowing process. Zen practice invites us into a different relationship with our physical form, one of friendly interest rather than judgment, of care without attachment, of inhabiting fully without identification. This relationship allows us to receive the body's wisdom without becoming defined by its temporary conditions. Consider for a moment how your relationship with your body might shift if you viewed it neither as an enemy to be conquered, nor as a deficient object to be fixed, but as a wise friend communicating through the language of sensation. How might your experience of pain or illness transform if you listened to these sensations with curiosity rather than resistance? This shift in perspective doesn't deny the reality of physical suffering or the appropriateness of seeking treatment. Rather, it adds a dimension of understanding that purely mechanical approaches might miss. The recognition that your body's experiences are meaningful, that they exist within the context of your whole life, that they carry information beyond just physical data. The Buddha taught that suffering has causes and conditions. It doesn't arise randomly. When we understand these causes and conditions, we gain the possibility of transformation. Your body's language of sensation offers clues about these causes and conditions, invitations to look more deeply at patterns that may be contributing to your current experience. As you breathe gently, notice if there's any area of your body that's particularly present in your awareness right now. Without analysis or judgment, can you simply acknowledge this area with friendly interest? Can you receive whatever sensation is present as information rather than obstacle? This simple, accepting awareness itself often begins a process of unwinding tension that force cannot accomplish. Now, let's explore some practical approaches for working with physical discomfort or illness, drawing from Zen Buddhist wisdom while honoring the unique nature of your experience. First, the practice of non-resistance. When pain or illness arises, our natural tendency is often to fight against it, to contract around it, to see it as an enemy to be defeated. While this fighting energy has its place, particularly in acute situations, it often creates a secondary layer of suffering. The suffering of struggle added to the original discomfort. Zen offers the radical alternative of meeting pain directly without the additional layer of resistance. This doesn't mean passive resignation, but active engagement with what is actually happening, rather than with our ideas or fears about what's happening. When we stop fighting against reality as it is in this moment, we often discover new possibilities for working with it skillfully. Try this simple practice. When discomfort arises, instead of immediately trying to change or fix it, pause and take 3 conscious breaths. During these breaths, simply acknowledge the sensation as it is, without adding stories about what it means or how long it might last. Just this brief pause can interrupt habitual patterns of reaction and create space for more skillful response. Second, the practice of gentle inquiry. Rather than immediately labeling pain as bad and trying to eliminate it, we can bring curious attention to its qualities. What exactly is this sensation? Where are its boundaries? Is it constant or does it fluctuate? Is it actually one solid thing or composed of different elements, perhaps pressure, warmth, tingling? This detailed attention often reveals that what we call pain isn't actually a solid, unchanging entity, but a flow of varying sensations. When seen in this way, even intense discomfort can become workable. We begin to notice the spaces between sensations, the moments when intensity lessens, the aspects of our experience that aren't painful at all. The Buddha taught the practice of clear seeing, perceiving reality as it actually is, rather than as we conceptualize it to be. This clear seeing doesn't eliminate challenges, but transforms our relationship with them from solid opposition to fluid engagement. Try this approach next time discomfort arises. Instead of labeling it immediately as pain or problem, explore it with friendly curiosity. What are its actual qualities right now? How does it change as you breathe with it? This exploration isn't about analysis, but about direct perception, coming into relationship with sensation itself rather than concepts about sensation. Third, the practice of kind attention. Our habitual tendency with pain is often to meet it with fear, frustration, or rejection. These emotional responses, while completely understandable, often increase both physical tension and mental suffering. What happens when we deliberately bring qualities of kindness and compassion to areas of discomfort? Many people discover that when they stop fighting against pain and instead surround it with gentle attention, the same quality they might offer to a suffering child or animal, something shifts. The sensation itself might not immediately disappear, but their relationship with it transforms, creating space for natural healing processes to operate more effectively. The Buddhist practice of metta, loving kindness, traditionally begins with offering good wishes to oneself. May I be safe, may I be healthy, may I be at ease. This self-compassion isn't selfish but necessary. We cannot authentically extend kindness to others if we're constantly harsh with ourselves. Your areas of physical discomfort deserve this same kindness, not because they're pleasant, but because they're part of your experience right now. Try directing thoughts of kindness toward areas of discomfort. May this area be held in compassion. May ease come to this region in its own time. Notice how this deliberate kindness affects both the physical sensation and your emotional response to it. Fourth, the practice of widening awareness. When we're in pain, our attention naturally narrows to focus on the discomfort. While this focusing makes biological sense as a warning system, it can also amplify suffering by creating a sense that the pain is all there is, that it defines our entire experience. Zen practice teaches us to widen the lens of awareness, to notice that even amidst intense sensation, other aspects of experience continue. The breath flows, sounds arise and pass, other parts of the body remain comfortable. This widened perspective doesn't deny the reality of pain, but places it within a larger context, reducing its power to dominate consciousness. The Buddha offered the simile of the sky and clouds. Our fundamental awareness is like the vast sky, while particular sensations, thoughts, and emotions are like clouds passing through. No matter how dark or stormy the clouds, the sky itself remains unharmed, unchanged in its essential nature. Try this approach when pain feels overwhelming. Deliberately notice what else is present in your experience right now. Perhaps sensations of comfort in other areas, perhaps the sound of your breath, perhaps the weight of your body against supporting surfaces. This widened awareness reminds you that pain is something you're experiencing rather than something you are. Fifth, the practice of impermanence. The Buddha identified 3 marks of existence: impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and non-self. Of these, impermanence offers particular wisdom for working with physical discomfort. Everything changes, everything flows, nothing remains fixed forever, not even the most intense pain. When we're suffering, time often seems to stop, creating the feeling that this will never end. Yet with careful attention, we can notice that even within pain, there is movement, fluctuation, change. Sometimes the intensity increases, sometimes it decreases. Sometimes the location shifts slightly. These observations remind us viscerally that sensation is a process, not a fixed entity. Zen practice cultivates this awareness of impermanence, not as a philosophical concept, but as lived reality. We notice how each breath is different from the last, how subtle sensations arise and pass moment by moment, how nothing remains exactly the same for even an instant. This direct perception of flow can be profoundly liberating when working with pain or illness. Try bringing awareness to the changing nature of sensation. Notice how discomfort isn't actually static but in constant flux. Even the most persistent pain has moments of greater and lesser intensity, shifts in quality or location. Recognizing this flow doesn't eliminate the sensation, but can transform your relationship with it from solid opposition to fluid acknowledgement. Sixth, the practice of finding meaning without blame. When illness or pain becomes part of our journey, it's natural to ask why, to seek meaning in the experience. The danger comes when this search for meaning turns into self-blame or simplistic cause and effect thinking. Buddhist understanding of karma is much more nuanced than the popular idea that everything happens for a reason, or that suffering is punishment for past actions. Rather, karma recognizes the vast complexity of causes and conditions that create any particular experience, some within our control, many beyond it. Finding meaning in physical challenges doesn't require blaming yourself or others. It might mean recognizing what your body's messages have to teach you about your unique path, about your relationship with life itself. These lessons come not as punishment, but as invitation, opportunities to grow in awareness, compassion, and wisdom through direct experience. The Buddha didn't teach a path of avoiding difficulty, but of engaging with it skillfully, of finding the liberating potential within even the most challenging circumstances. Whatever physical conditions you're experiencing, whether temporary discomfort or chronic illness, contain within them seeds of wisdom if approached with patience and kind attention. As you continue to breathe gently, reflect on whether your current physical condition might be offering any particular wisdom for your path right now. Not as blame, not as punishment, but as information about how you might move toward greater wholeness and alignment. Seventh, the practice of appropriate action. While Zen emphasizes acceptance of present reality, this acceptance isn't passive resignation, but the foundation for skillful response. Once we've clearly seen what is, without resistance or denial, we can take whatever actions are appropriate to address suffering. This might mean seeking medical treatment, changing diet or exercise patterns, modifying environmental factors, or adjusting how you use your body in daily activities. The difference lies in the quality of these actions, whether they come from panicked reactivity or centered response, from rejection of what is or clear seeing of what's needed. The Buddha taught the Noble Eightfold Path, which includes both wisdom and ethical action. This teaching recognizes that insight without appropriate response remains incomplete. Your body's messages deserve not just acknowledgement, but skillful action based on clear understanding of what will best serve your well-being. Consider what actions might support your body's healing and balance right now. These might be conventional medical approaches, lifestyle adjustments, or subtle shifts in how you relate to your physical experience. Whatever actions you choose, let them arise from clear seeing rather than fear or compulsion. Finally, the practice of patience and trust. Healing rarely proceeds in a straight line or according to our preferred timeline. The body has its own wisdom, its own rhythm of regeneration and renewal. Often the most supportive stance we can take is patient accompaniment, neither forcing change nor giving up hope, but trusting the innate intelligence that animates every cell. Zen practice cultivates this patience through activities that cannot be rushed: sitting meditation, careful attention to simple tasks, the slow unfolding of understanding through direct experience rather than conceptual shortcuts. This patient attention allows natural processes to operate without the interference of anxiety or demand. The Buddha taught that suffering, while universal, is not the end of the story. Within every experience of difficulty lies the potential for awakening, for greater understanding, for more authentic connection with life as it actually is, rather than as we wish it to be. As you continue to breathe gently, perhaps growing drowsy as sleep approaches, allow a sense of basic trust to permeate your being. Your body, despite whatever challenges it may currently face, contains remarkable wisdom. It knows how to heal countless small injuries without your conscious direction. It maintains the incredibly complex balance of thousands of biochemical processes, moment by moment. It deserves your trust, your patience, your partnership in the journey toward balance. Rest now in the awareness that you don't need to figure everything out, don't need to force healing, don't need to have all the answers. Your role is simply to listen with kindness, to respond with wisdom, and to trust the intelligence that has guided your body's functioning since before you were conscious of it. Zen tradition reminds us that our essential nature is already complete, already whole. Healing isn't about becoming something other than what you are. It's about removing the obstacles to recognizing and expressing your inherent wholeness. These obstacles might be physical tension, emotional armoring, or mental fixation, but beneath them, your basic nature remains intact, unharmed, complete. As you drift towards sleep, carry this remembrance with you, that beneath whatever pain or illness you may be experiencing, your fundamental nature remains whole, remains luminous, remains capable of healing and renewal. This isn't magical thinking, but recognition of the remarkable capacity for regeneration and balance that animates all living things. Sleep now, if sleep comes, or rest in gentle awareness if sleep delays. Either way, know that healing processes continue whether you're conscious of them or not. Your body knows what to do. Your role is simply to create the conditions where healing can flourish, conditions of kindness, of patience, of trust in the wisdom that has sustained you every moment of your life. As you continue to rest deeply, perhaps drifting between wakefulness and sleep, allow these gentle teachings to work in you beyond conscious thought. The wisdom of your body operates continuously, whether you're awake or asleep, whether you're actively focusing on healing or simply resting in awareness. Trust this process, this unfolding, this natural movement toward balance. The Zen tradition speaks of our original nature as being like water, naturally clear, naturally flowing. When water becomes cloudy, it doesn't require elaborate methods to become clear again. Simply allowing it to be still, causes the sediment to gradually settle, revealing the inherent clarity that was never actually lost, only temporarily obscured. Similarly, your natural state of well-being often begins to re-emerge when you simply create conditions of restful awareness, allowing the agitation of both body and mind to gradually settle. Let's continue our gentle exploration of the body-mind-spirit connection through the lens of Zen Buddhist wisdom. Remember that these perspectives are offered not as definitive explanations, but as invitations to see your physical experience from different angles, to recognize dimensions of meaning that purely mechanistic approaches might overlook. In Buddhist understanding, everything arises from causes and conditions. Nothing exists in isolation. Nothing happens randomly. This principle applies to physical experiences as much as to any other aspect of life. Your current bodily condition, whether vibrant health, temporary illness, or chronic challenge, has emerged from countless interweaving factors, some obvious, others subtle. Some of these factors are material, genetics, environment, nutrition, movement patterns. Others are less tangible but equally influential, emotional states, thought patterns, spiritual alignment or disconnection. The Buddha didn't separate these dimensions into isolated categories, but recognized their constant interplay, their mutual influence. This holistic understanding doesn't mean that every physical symptom has a direct emotional cause, or that spiritual practice alone can address all bodily concerns. Rather, it invites us to consider the full spectrum of factors that might be influencing our physical experience, to work with these multiple dimensions rather than reducing everything to a single explanation. With this understanding as background, let's explore some specific experiences that many people encounter in their physical journey, and how Zen Buddhist perspectives might illuminate these challenges. Insomnia, difficulty falling or staying asleep, affects millions of people around the world. Modern medicine recognizes various physical and psychological factors that contribute to sleep disturbance. The Buddhist perspective adds another dimension of understanding, seeing insomnia not just as a problem to fix, but as a potential messenger carrying information about our relationship with surrender, with trust, with the natural cycles of activity and rest. Sleep requires a fundamental letting go, a release of control, a surrender to a state of consciousness different from our waking awareness. For many people, particularly those who maintain rigid control during waking hours, this surrender can feel threatening at some level. The mind creates reasons to stay alert, to maintain vigilance, to resist the vulnerability of sleep. Zen practice doesn't try to force sleep, but creates conditions where sleep can naturally arise. Rather than struggling against wakefulness, which often increases alertness, we simply rest in present awareness, allowing the body and mind to find their natural rhythm. This non-striving approach often allows the nervous system to shift gradually from fight or flight mode to rest and digest, creating internal conditions conducive to sleep. If you're listening to these words while struggling with insomnia, know that you're not failing, not doing something wrong. Sleep isn't something you can force through willpower. Instead, simply allow yourself to rest in the present moment, neither grasping for sleep nor pushing it away. Notice the sensations of your body against supporting surfaces, the rhythm of your breath, the thoughts and feelings that arise without becoming identified with their content. This restful awareness itself is healing, regardless of whether sleep immediately follows. The Buddha taught that everything changes, everything flows. This applies to states of wakefulness as much as to any other condition. By resting in the present without anxious thoughts about sleep, you create space for natural transitions to occur in their own time, in their own way. Chronic pain, persistent discomfort that continues beyond normal healing time, presents particular challenges for both body and mind. Modern pain science recognizes that long-lasting pain often involves changes in how the nervous system processes sensation, creating heightened sensitivity that can persist even when the original injury has healed. The Zen perspective doesn't contradict this understanding, but complements it with wisdom about how we relate to persistent sensation. Often, it's not just the pain itself, but our resistance to it, our stories about it, our identification with it, that amplifies suffering. When pain becomes central to our identity, when we begin to think of ourselves primarily as a person in pain, rather than a whole being who is currently experiencing pain among many other aspects of life, a certain solidification occurs that can make the condition feel more intractable. Buddhist practice offers several approaches that many people have found helpful in working with chronic pain. First is the recognition that while pain may be unavoidable in certain conditions, suffering, our mental and emotional response to pain, can be transformed through attention and understanding. The Buddha's teaching of the two arrows illustrates this distinction. The first arrow is the unavoidable pain that arises from illness, injury, or other conditions. The second arrow is what we add to this experience through resistance, judgment, catastrophizing thoughts, or beliefs about what the pain means. While we may not always be able to avoid the first arrow, we can learn not to shoot ourselves with the second. This doesn't mean denying pain or pretending it doesn't hurt. It means recognizing that our relationship with pain significantly influences how we experience it. When we meet pain with fear, frustration, or the belief that this should not be happening, we often create muscle tension, stress hormones, and mental anguish that amplify the original sensation. Zen practice invites a different relationship, meeting pain with kind awareness rather than opposition. This doesn't immediately eliminate the sensation, but it often reduces the secondary suffering that comes from fighting against reality as it is in this moment. If you're experiencing chronic pain as you listen to these words, know that this approach isn't asking you to resign yourself to suffering or to stop seeking appropriate treatment. Rather, it offers a way of being with your present experience that may create more internal space, more possibility, more ease within difficulty. Try bringing gentle awareness to the sensations present right now, without immediately labeling them as bad or something to get rid of. Notice their specific qualities, location, intensity, texture. Notice how they change, however subtly, from moment to moment. Notice the aspects of your experience that aren't painful, areas of comfort or neutral sensation, the flow of breath, sounds around you. This widened awareness reminds you that you are more than your pain, that other dimensions of experience continue even when discomfort is present. The Buddha recognized that while pain is inevitable in human life, we have choice in how we respond to it. This choice doesn't mean controlling what sensations arise, but rather how we meet those sensations, with resistance that often increases suffering, or with compassionate awareness that creates space for both acknowledgement and ease. Anxiety, the experience of fear, worry, or apprehension without immediate external threat, affects many people, particularly in our modern world of constant stimulation and perceived demands. This state has profound physical expressions: muscle tension, shallow breathing, digestive disturbance, heightened heart rate, and more. The Zen Buddhist perspective understands anxiety not as personal failing, but as natural human response to perceived threat. Whether that threat is physical danger or psychological concerns like social judgment, uncertainty about the future, or sense of inadequacy. The suffering comes not from the initial anxious feeling, which arises automatically, but from how we respond to it, often with resistance, self-criticism, or attempts to suppress what's arising. Buddhist practice doesn't aim to eliminate anxiety through force or control. Rather, it cultivates a different relationship with anxious feelings, one of kind acknowledgement rather than frightened resistance. When we meet anxiety with awareness rather than avoidance, we often discover that while uncomfortable, these feelings aren't actually dangerous. They're energy moving through our system, sometimes intensely, but always changing, always in flux. Zen meditation teaches us to sit with whatever arises in our experience without immediately trying to change it. This sitting with doesn't mean passive resignation, but active engagement with reality as it is rather than as we wish it to be. When we bring this quality of presence to anxious feelings, something interesting often happens. The feelings themselves begin to shift, to move, to transform simply through being acknowledged rather than resisted. The Buddha taught that everything is impermanent, always changing. This applies to anxious states as much as to any other condition. By observing anxiety with patient attention, we come to recognize directly that it isn't a solid, permanent state, but a flow of sensations, thoughts, and emotions that naturally rise and fall, if not held in place by resistance or identification. If you're experiencing anxiety as you listen to these words, try this simple practice. Rather than trying to make the anxiety go away, bring gentle curiosity to how it's expressing in your body right now. Where do you feel it most strongly? What are its actual sensations? Perhaps tightness, fluttering, warmth. Without judgment or analysis, simply notice these sensations with kind attention. Notice also that while part of you is experiencing anxiety, another part is able to observe this experience with relative calm. This observing awareness remains stable even as sensations and emotions fluctuate. The Buddha offered a beautiful metaphor for this relationship with difficult emotions. He suggested seeing them as clouds passing through the sky of our awareness. No matter how dark or stormy the clouds, the sky itself remains unharmed, unchanged in its fundamental nature. Your basic awareness, your capacity to notice experience, remains intact, regardless of what emotions move through it. This perspective doesn't deny the reality of anxiety or suggest that it's wrong to seek relief. Rather, it offers a way of being with anxious feelings that doesn't add the additional suffering of resistance, judgment, or identification. Many people discover that this accepting awareness itself often allows anxiety to begin shifting naturally without force or struggle. Depression, persistent feelings of sadness, emptiness, or hopelessness affects many people and has both psychological and physical dimensions. Physically, depression often manifests as fatigue, sleep disturbance, changes in appetite, and a general slowing of movement and motivation. These physical aspects aren't just in your head, but reflect real changes in brain chemistry, hormone balance, and energy regulation. The Buddhist understanding doesn't contradict the biological reality of depression, but adds perspective on how we relate to these difficult states. Often, our suffering increases not just from the depression itself, but from our judgment about it, seeing it as failure, as weakness, as something that shouldn't be happening. This added layer of judgment creates a spiral of shame and self-criticism that can deepen the original condition. Zen practice offers a different relationship with depressive states, one of compassionate acknowledgement rather than judgment or denial. This doesn't mean resigning ourselves to depression as inevitable or permanent, but rather meeting it with kind awareness while taking appropriate actions to address both its physical and psychological dimensions. The Buddha recognized that all beings wish to be happy, to be free from suffering. This natural desire doesn't mean something is wrong with us when we experience depression, but rather reflects our inherent movement toward wholeness and well-being. Depression isn't punishment or personal failing, but a complex condition arising from multiple factors, only some of which may be within our conscious control. If you're experiencing depression as you listen to these words, know that you're not alone, not broken, not failing at life. Your experience is part of the shared human journey, different in its specific expression, but connected to what many others have faced and moved through. The very fact that you're listening to these teachings suggests a part of you is reaching toward greater understanding, toward healing, toward the wholeness that remains your birthright regardless of current conditions. Try bringing gentle awareness to whatever you're experiencing right now, not to analyze or judge it, but simply to acknowledge what is present with basic kindness. Notice that while part of you may be experiencing heaviness or emptiness, another part is able to notice this experience. This noticing awareness itself isn't depressed, it's clear, present, capable of holding even difficult states with compassion rather than condemnation. The Buddha taught that liberation comes not from avoiding difficult experiences, but from meeting them with clear seeing and compassionate presence. This meeting doesn't immediately eliminate all challenges, but it creates conditions where transformation becomes possible, where we're no longer completely identified with or controlled by depressive states, even when they're present. This perspective recognizes that depression, like all conditions, changes over time. It isn't a permanent identity, but a temporary constellation of physical, emotional, and mental factors that naturally shift when given appropriate support. This support might include conventional treatment like medication or therapy, lifestyle adjustments like movement and social connection, and spiritual practices that cultivate presence and compassion. The body's aging process brings its own particular challenges and opportunities for spiritual understanding. As systems naturally change over time, we may experience decreasing physical strength, changes in energy levels, shifts in sleep patterns, and various forms of discomfort that weren't present in youth. The Buddhist perspective on aging is neither denial nor resignation, but clear recognition of natural process. The Buddha identified aging as one of the universal experiences of being human, not something that happens only to the unfortunate few, but a shared journey that connects us across all times and cultures. This recognition doesn't mean we should neglect appropriate care for our aging bodies or resign ourselves to unnecessary suffering. Rather, it invites us to meet the aging process with clear seeing and kind acceptance, taking wise action where helpful while acknowledging what naturally changes over time. Zen practice includes embracing impermanence not as philosophical concept, but as lived reality. We notice directly how everything constantly changes, not just over decades, but moment by moment. This intimate recognition of flow can transform our relationship with aging from resistance and fear to honest acknowledgement and even appreciation for the natural unfolding of life's seasons. If you're experiencing physical changes related to aging as you listen to these words, consider how your relationship with these changes might transform if you met them not as personal failing or cosmic injustice, but as natural process shared by all living beings. What if the aches or limitations weren't problems to be solved or enemies to be fought, but simply aspects of your current experience to be acknowledged with kindness and accommodated with wisdom? The Buddha taught that resistance to natural process creates suffering beyond the inherent challenges of the process itself. When we fight against reality as it is, whether that's the reality of a younger body experiencing temporary illness or an older body experiencing natural changes, we create a second layer of anguish through our insistence that things should be different than they are. This doesn't mean we shouldn't take good care of ourselves as we age or seek appropriate treatment for conditions that can be addressed. It means doing so from a place of kind acceptance rather than bitter resistance, recognizing what we can influence while making peace with what naturally changes over time. Many spiritual traditions, including Buddhism, recognize that aging often brings gifts alongside its challenges. Perspective that comes only through lived experience, wisdom born of navigating life's complexities over time, freedom from certain concerns that may have dominated younger years. These gifts don't eliminate physical discomfort, but exist alongside it, part of the complete experience of living a full human life. As you continue to breathe gently, perhaps drifting between wakefulness and sleep, consider what it might be like to meet your body with friendly interest rather than judgment or demand, accepting its current condition while taking appropriate care, acknowledging its messages without being defined by them. This accepting awareness creates internal conditions where healing and balance can flourish, regardless of your specific physical circumstances. The Buddha offered a powerful teaching through the metaphor of the raft. He described a traveler who builds a raft to cross a dangerous river. Upon reaching the far shore safely, the traveler has a choice: to carry the heavy raft on his head as he continues his journey, or to leave it behind with gratitude, recognizing that it served its purpose and is no longer needed. This teaching applies beautifully to how we work with various approaches to healing and well-being. Different methods, whether conventional medical treatments, alternative therapies, or spiritual practices, serve as rafts to help us navigate particular challenges. The wisdom lies in using what serves our journey without becoming rigidly attached to any single approach, in recognizing when something has fulfilled its purpose and perhaps a different method is now needed. Zen Buddhism emphasizes pragmatism over dogma, using what works in a given situation rather than clinging to fixed ideas about what should work. This flexible approach allows us to draw from various wisdom traditions, including modern medicine, while maintaining the discernment to recognize what's actually helpful in our unique circumstances. As you listen to these teachings, perhaps certain perspectives resonate with your experience while others feel less relevant. Trust this resonance, this intuitive recognition of what serves your particular journey. Take what's helpful and leave the rest, using these perspectives as offerings rather than prescriptions, as possibilities rather than absolutes. The body's wisdom speaks through sensation, through energy, through subtle signals that often precede conscious understanding. Many people have had the experience of knowing something physically before they recognized it mentally, feeling uneasy in certain situations without obvious reason, experiencing inexplicable fatigue that later revealed itself as the beginning of illness, sensing attraction or aversion to people or environments through bodily response rather than logical analysis. Zen practice cultivates this somatic awareness, this capacity to receive information through the body's direct experience, rather than relying solely on conceptual understanding. Through practices like mindful breathing, body scanning, and conscious movement, we develop increasing sensitivity to the body's subtle communications. This sensitivity doesn't replace intellectual discernment, but complements it, adding dimensions of knowing that thinking alone cannot access. The body's intelligence operates at levels beyond conscious thought, drawing on evolutionary wisdom developed over countless generations, as well as your own unique lived experience. As you continue to breathe gently, notice what your body might be communicating in this moment. Perhaps there's a sense of gradually deepening relaxation, perhaps areas of lingering tension, perhaps the natural heaviness that precedes sleep. Without analysis or judgment, simply receive these sensations as information, your body's ongoing communication about its current state and needs. The Buddha encouraged his followers to verify teachings through direct experience rather than accepting them based on authority or tradition. This empirical approach applies beautifully to understanding your body's unique patterns and needs. While general principles of health and healing provide useful guidelines, each person's bodily experience is distinct, influenced by countless factors both inherited and developed over time. This understanding invites you to become your own compassionate researcher, observing patterns, noticing what supports your well-being and what undermines it, recognizing your unique responses to different foods, activities, environments, and relationships. This isn't self-absorbed fixation, but mindful attention to the wisdom available through your direct experience. Such attention reveals patterns that might otherwise remain invisible, perhaps noticing that certain foods consistently affect your energy or digestion in particular ways, that specific movements either increase or decrease physical discomfort, that some environments leave you feeling depleted while others restore your vitality. These observations aren't about judgment or creating rigid rules, but about gathering information that allows increasingly skillful choices. Choices aligned with your actual needs rather than generic prescriptions that might not serve your unique system. The Zen approach emphasizes simplicity, noticing what actually supports well-being without complicated theories or elaborate methods. Often the most powerful practices are the simplest: conscious breathing, adequate rest, movement that brings joy rather than strain, nourishment that genuinely feeds rather than merely fills, human connection that uplifts rather than depletes. As you drift towards sleep, consider what simple practices might most support your current needs. Not an overwhelming regimen of shoulds, but small, sustainable actions that honor your body's wisdom and create conditions for natural healing to flourish. The Buddha taught the middle way, avoiding extremes of both indulgence and harsh discipline. This balanced approach applies beautifully to caring for the body, neither ignoring its needs nor becoming obsessively fixated on controlling every aspect of physical experience. Finding this middle way isn't about following generic rules, but discovering what constitutes balance for your unique system in your current circumstances. This balance isn't static but dynamic, responding to changing conditions and needs while maintaining core principles of kindness, awareness, and appropriate care. As you continue to breathe gently, perhaps growing quite drowsy now, allow this message of balance to permeate your being. Not perfect adherence to an external standard, but attentive care that responds to your actual needs in this moment, in this body, in these circumstances. Sleep is a profound teacher in the Buddhist understanding, a natural cycle that reminds us of the rhythm of letting go and returning, of surrendering conscious control and trusting deeper processes to restore and regenerate without our direction. Each night, we practice a kind of small death, releasing identification with our waking self and entering states of consciousness quite different from our daytime awareness. This nightly surrender offers practice for the greater surrenders life inevitably brings. Times of transition, of loss, of transformation that require releasing what was in order to allow what's emerging. When we resist sleep, through worry, through stimulation, through unwillingness to let go of conscious control, we often create suffering beyond the simple fact of being awake when rest would serve us better. Zen practice doesn't try to force sleep, but creates conditions where it can naturally arise. Rather than struggling against wakefulness, we simply rest in present awareness, allowing the body and mind to find their natural rhythm. This non-striving approach often allows the nervous system to shift gradually from alertness to restfulness, creating internal conditions conducive to sleep. If you're growing sleepy as you listen to these words, simply allow this natural process to unfold. There's nothing you need to do except receive the gift of rest that your body is offering. If sleep doesn't come immediately, that's perfectly fine as well. Simply resting in gentle awareness brings its own restoration, its own healing qualities. The Buddha recognized that while we can create conditions that support rest and renewal, we cannot ultimately control the precise unfolding of natural processes. This recognition brings a certain freedom. The freedom of surrendering what we cannot control while attending skillfully to what we can influence. As you rest now, perhaps drifting between wakefulness and sleep, know that healing processes continue whether you're conscious of them or not. Your remarkable body continues its work of restoration, of balance, of regeneration, without requiring your conscious direction. This natural intelligence has sustained you throughout your life, operating with intricate precision beyond what conscious thought could possibly orchestrate. Your role is simply to create supportive conditions, conditions of kindness rather than judgment, of appropriate care rather than neglect or obsession, of trust in natural process rather than anxious control. Within these supportive conditions, your body's wisdom naturally moves toward whatever balance is possible in your current circumstances. The Zen tradition speaks of our original nature as being like water, naturally clear, naturally flowing. When water becomes cloudy, it doesn't require elaborate methods to become clear again. Simply allowing it to be still causes the sediment to gradually settle, revealing the inherent clarity that was never actually lost, only temporarily obscured. Similarly, your natural state of well-being often begins to re-emerge when you simply create conditions of restful awareness, allowing the agitation of both body and mind to gradually settle. This settling doesn't require force or special techniques, just the willingness to be present with what is, to allow natural processes to operate without interference from anxiety or demand. As you continue to breathe gently, feel the natural weight of your body against whatever is supporting it. Allow yourself to be held completely, to surrender to the embrace of gravity, to release unnecessary tension and effort. This simple allowing creates space for restoration that effort cannot accomplish. The Buddha taught that everything arises from causes and conditions, that nothing exists in isolation. Your current physical state, whatever it may be, has emerged from countless interweaving factors, some within your control and many beyond it. This understanding can bring a certain ease, relieving the burden of believing that you should somehow have complete control over your bodily experience. At the same time, recognizing causes and conditions reveals where skillful influence is possible, not through force or rigid control, but through creating supportive conditions where well-being can naturally flourish. These conditions include not just physical factors like nutrition and movement, but also mental states like kindness toward yourself, emotional qualities like acceptance of what is while taking appropriate action, and spiritual dimensions like finding meaning within challenge rather than being defined by it. The interweaving of these dimensions creates your unique experience in each moment. No single factor determines your well-being, and no single approach addresses all aspects of healing. The wisdom lies in recognizing this complexity without becoming overwhelmed by it, in taking simple, appropriate actions while maintaining perspective on the larger unfolding of your life journey. As you rest now, perhaps quite close to sleep, allow all effort to fall away. There's nothing you need to figure out, nothing you need to solve or control in this moment. Simply receiving these words, these gentle reminders of what you already know at some level, that your body carries profound wisdom, that healing unfolds in its own time and way, that beneath whatever challenges you may face, your essential nature remains whole, unharmed, capable of renewal. The Zen tradition speaks of original face, the aspect of ourselves that exists prior to all conditioning, all experiences, all identifications with temporary states. This original nature remains intact regardless of physical condition, emotional state, or life circumstances. It isn't damaged by illness, isn't diminished by limitation, isn't defined by any particular experience, but rather holds all experience within its spacious awareness. Connecting with this original nature brings a profound sense of peace, not because external conditions have changed, but because we recognize something within us that remains untouched by changing conditions. This recognition doesn't eliminate physical challenges, but transforms our relationship with them, from identification to compassionate witnessing. As you drift towards sleep, allow yourself to rest in this witnessing awareness, the aspect of yourself that notices sensations, thoughts, and emotions without becoming completely identified with their content. This spacious noticing creates room for healing, for transformation, for the natural movement toward balance that is your birthright. The Buddha offered a beautiful metaphor for this relationship with experience. He suggested seeing sensations, thoughts, and emotions as clouds passing through the sky of our awareness. No matter how dark or stormy the clouds, the sky itself remains unharmed, unchanged in its fundamental nature. Your basic awareness, your capacity to notice experience, remains intact regardless of what moves through it. Rest now in this sky-like awareness, allowing all experience to move naturally, without resistance, without grasping, without unnecessary commentary. In this simple allowing, a profound healing often begins, not through effort or control, but through creating space where natural intelligence can operate unimpeded. If sleep comes now, receive it as a gift, surrendering conscious control to the wisdom that continues to operate beyond your awareness. If sleep delays, that's perfectly fine as well. Simply resting in gentle awareness brings its own restoration, its own healing qualities. Either way, know that you're exactly where you need to be in this moment, held in the embrace of a universe that includes both challenge and renewal, both difficulty and ease, both the particularity of your unique journey and the universality of experiences shared by all living beings. The Buddhist understanding of interconnection reminds us that we're never truly isolated in our experience, never completely separate from the web of life that sustains us in every moment. Your breath connects you to the plants that create oxygen, to the atmosphere that holds it, to all beings who share this essential rhythm of receiving and releasing. Your body contains elements that have existed since the beginning of time, temporarily configured in this particular form, eventually to return to the greater whole from which they arose. This interconnection doesn't eliminate the uniqueness of your journey or the specificity of your challenges. Rather, it places them within a larger context, reminding you that whatever difficulties you face them as part of humanity's shared experience, as part of life's ongoing unfolding. The Buddha recognized both the universality of human suffering and the universality of the potential for liberation from suffering. This recognition was not depressing, but profoundly freeing. When we understand that challenges are part of the human condition, we can hold our own difficulties with greater perspective and less personal identification. As you continue to rest, perhaps very near sleep now, allow this perspective of interconnection to bring a sense of being held within something larger than your individual experience, not separate, not isolated, but part of the vast web of life that includes both joy and sorrow, both ease and difficulty, both the particular and the universal. The Zen tradition offers a beautiful teaching through the image of bamboo in snow. When heavy snow falls, the bamboo bends low under its weight. Because it yields rather than resisting, the snow eventually slides off and the bamboo springs back to its original position. Had it tried to remain rigidly upright, fighting against the weight of snow, it might have broken under the strain. This yield and strength, different from either rigid resistance or complete collapse, exemplifies the middle way that Buddhism recommends. We acknowledge reality as it is, bending when necessary rather than breaking, while maintaining our core integrity that allows restoration when conditions change. Your body naturally embodies this wisdom in countless ways. Consider how your skin yields to pressure while maintaining its essential continuity. How your lungs expand to receive breath and contract to release it. How your heart adapts its rhythm to changing needs while maintaining its essential function. This dynamic balance between yielding and integrity, between adaptation and stability, offers a model for how we might meet life's challenges with both acceptance and resilience. As sleep perhaps enfolds you now, carry this image of yielding strength into your dreams, into the deep restoration that sleep brings. Know that this balance between acceptance and action, between surrender and integrity, continues to operate whether you're conscious of it or not. Your body knows this wisdom intimately, has embodied it throughout your life in ways both obvious and subtle. The Buddha taught that understanding comes not from thinking about reality, but from direct experience of it. Your body offers you this direct experience moment by moment. The truth of sensation, rather than stories about sensation. The reality of how things are, rather than how you think they should be. When you learn to listen to your body with compassion and clarity, you discover not just information about physical conditions, but wisdom about life itself. The challenges you face, whether temporary discomfort, chronic illness, emotional difficulty, or the natural changes of aging, aren't obstacles to your spiritual journey, but part of its very substance. These experiences, met with awareness rather than resistance, become doorways to understanding that conceptual knowledge alone cannot provide. The Zen tradition speaks of turning poison into medicine, finding the transformative potential within difficult experiences, rather than seeing them only as obstacles to be eliminated. This alchemical perspective doesn't deny suffering, but recognizes that within challenge often lies the seed of wisdom, of compassion, of more authentic connection with both ourselves and others. Many who have faced significant physical challenges report that alongside the undeniable difficulty came unexpected gifts, deeper appreciation for simple pleasures, clearer recognition of what truly matters, greater compassion for others' suffering, release from concerns that once seemed important but revealed themselves as secondary when health was compromised. These gifts don't make suffering desirable or necessary. We naturally seek well-being and ease when possible, but they remind us that even within our most difficult experiences, possibilities for growth and understanding remain present if we're willing to receive them. As you rest now, perhaps deeply asleep, or perhaps still drifting towards sleep, allow your challenges, whatever they may be, to be held within this larger perspective. Not just obstacles to be overcome, but potential teachers offering wisdom that comfort alone might never provide. This perspective doesn't make difficulties disappear, but can transform your relationship with them from opposition to meaningful engagement. The Buddha compared the spiritual path to a raft crossing a river. Not an end in itself, but a vehicle for traversing challenging waters to reach a further shore. Similarly, the perspectives and practices we've explored aren't ends in themselves, but potential supports for your unique journey toward greater wholeness, understanding, and ease within whatever circumstances life presents. Some of these approaches may resonate deeply with your experience, while others feel less relevant. Trust this resonance, this intuitive recognition of what serves your particular journey. Take what's helpful and leave the rest, using these teachings as possibilities rather than prescriptions. The Zen tradition emphasizes direct experience over conceptual understanding, knowing through embodied awareness rather than thought alone. As you rest now, allow these teachings to be absorbed not just by your thinking mind, but by your entire being, body, heart, and spirit integrated in the wholeness that is your birthright regardless of external conditions. Sleep now if sleep comes, or rest in gentle awareness if sleep delays. Either way, know that healing processes continue, that your body's wisdom operates beyond conscious control, that beneath whatever challenges you face, your essential nature remains whole, untouched, luminous with possibility. The ancient Zen masters recognized that our true nature is like the sun, sometimes obscured by clouds but never actually diminished by them. Whatever pain, illness, or limitation you may be experiencing, it exists as weather passing through the sky of your awareness rather than defining or limiting what you essentially are. Rest in this recognition, as sleep perhaps enfolds you completely now, not separate from your physical experience, but not entirely defined by it either. Both particular in your unique journey and universal in your connection to all living beings. Both accepting what is in this moment and open to the healing that unfolds in its own time, its own way. May your rest be deep and restorative. May your body receive the care it deserves. May your heart find ease amidst whatever challenges you face. May your spirit recognize its inherent completeness, even within the ever-changing circumstances of physical life. May you know yourself as both this particular human form with its unique journey and the boundless awareness that holds all experience with compassionate understanding. Rest now in this dual recognition, both the specific truth of your current experience and the larger truth of your fundamental wholeness. Both the particular wisdom your body offers through its unique pattern of sensations and the universal wisdom that has sustained all beings throughout time. Both the vulnerability of your human form and the indestructible nature of the awareness that witnesses this vulnerability with compassionate presence. In this recognition, healing unfolds naturally. Not always as cure in the conventional sense, but as the restoration of wholeness at levels deeper than physical condition alone. This healing continues whether you're conscious of it or not, whether sleep comes quickly or gradually, whether your circumstances change dramatically or remain relatively stable. Your role is simply to create supportive conditions of kindness rather than judgment, of appropriate care rather than neglect or obsession, of trust in natural process rather than anxious control. Within these supportive conditions, your body's wisdom naturally moves toward whatever balance is possible in your current circumstances. The Zen masters remind us that we already possess everything needed for awakening, not as something to achieve through striving, but as our original nature, temporarily obscured perhaps, but never actually lost or damaged. This understanding applies to healing as well, not as something to force through willpower, but as the natural expression of a wholeness that already exists beneath whatever temporary conditions may be present. As you rest deeply now, allow this understanding to permeate your being, not as concept to analyze, but as direct recognition of what is already true, already present, already whole within you, regardless of external circumstances or physical condition. May this recognition bring profound peace, not because problems have disappeared, but because they're held within a larger context that includes both challenge and renewal, both difficulty and ease, both the particularity of your journey and the universality of experiences shared by all living beings. Sleep now in this peace, this recognition, this gentle acceptance of what is while remaining open to the healing that unfolds in its own time, its own way. Your body knows the path of restoration. Your heart knows the way to ease. Your spirit recognizes its original completeness, even amidst temporary conditions of limitation or pain. Trust this knowing as sleep perhaps embraces you completely now, not separate from your physical experience, but not entirely defined by it either. Both particular in your unique journey and universal in your connection to all living beings. Both accepting what is in this moment and open to the transformation that continues whether you're aware of it or not. The Zen tradition speaks of great rest, not just physical sleep, but the profound ease that comes from recognizing our true nature beneath all temporary conditions. May you discover this great rest now, this peace that isn't dependent on external circumstances, but arises from direct recognition of what remains whole, untouched, complete, regardless of life's inevitable changes. This great rest reveals itself in moments of complete acceptance, when we stop struggling against what is and simply allow ourselves to be as we are, where we are. In this allowing, something shifts, not in our external circumstances perhaps, but in our relationship with them. The pain that seemed intolerable when fought against becomes workable when met with spacious awareness. The limitation that felt like prison when resisted becomes simply a parameter of our current experience when acknowledged with kindness. Zen teacher Shunryu Suzuki offered this profound guidance. In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities. In the expert's mind, there are few. This beginner's mind, approaching each moment fresh, without preconceptions about what should or shouldn't be happening, creates space for new possibilities that our habitual patterns of thinking might never discover. When we meet our body sensations with this beginner's mind, we sometimes find that what seemed solid and unchangeable is actually fluid, always in process. As you rest now, perhaps drifting in and out of sleep, imagine approaching your physical experience with this quality of not knowing, of genuine curiosity rather than fixed ideas. What might you discover if you temporarily set aside your interpretations of sensations and simply felt them directly, without the overlay of concepts or judgments? This direct experiencing often reveals subtleties and nuances that our quick categorizations miss entirely. The Buddha taught that our suffering often comes not from pain itself, but from our response to pain, our resistance to it, our stories about what it means, our identification with it as defining who we are. When pain arises, we naturally want to push it away, to fix it, to make it stop. This fighting energy creates tension in both body and mind, often amplifying the very discomfort we're trying to escape. Zen practice offers a different possibility, meeting pain with kind awareness rather than opposition. This doesn't mean passive resignation to suffering, but active engagement with reality as it is in this moment, neither denying difficulties nor becoming defined by them. In this engaged presence, we often discover a freedom that fighting against pain can never provide. The freedom to be with our experience exactly as it is while remaining connected to the awareness that is larger than any particular sensation or emotion. The ancient Zen masters compared our true nature to the vast sky, boundless, clear, unchanged by whatever weather passes through it. Clouds may temporarily obscure portions of the sky from view, but they never diminish its fundamental nature. Similarly, pain, illness, or limitation may temporarily dominate our awareness, but they don't reduce or damage the essential consciousness that witnesses these experiences. As you continue to rest, perhaps moving deeper into sleep now, allow yourself to sense this sky-like quality of your awareness, the spaciousness that holds all experience without itself being damaged or diminished by what moves through it. This recognition brings a profound peace that doesn't depend on the absence of difficulty, but arises from connecting with what remains whole, regardless of temporary conditions. Zen teacher John Daido Loori described this state as the stillness in the center of activity. Even in the midst of physical discomfort or emotional challenge, this stillness remains available, not as something to achieve through effort, but as our original nature, temporarily obscured perhaps, but never actually lost or damaged. When we recognize this stillness, even briefly, it brings a quality of ease that effort alone can never produce. This ease doesn't mean all problems instantly disappear. Your body may still experience pain. Your mind may still generate worried thoughts. Your heart may still feel the weight of difficult emotions. But these experiences are held differently when we recognize the spacious awareness within which they arise. Like waves on the ocean, they're real and sometimes powerful, but they don't define or limit the vastness of the water itself. The Buddhist understanding of interdependence reminds us that nothing exists in isolation. Everything arises in relationship to countless other factors. Your current physical state, whatever it may be, emerges from the interplay of genetics, environment, past experiences, present circumstances, and many other elements both known and unknown. This understanding helps us avoid both excessive blame of ourselves for conditions we didn't deliberately create and unrealistic expectations about quick or complete transformation. At the same time, recognizing interdependence reveals the many points where skillful influence is possible. While we may not be able to immediately change long-established physical patterns through willpower alone, we can create conditions that support gradual healing and greater ease. Conditions of kind attention rather than harsh judgment, of appropriate care rather than neglect or obsession, of patience with process rather than demand for immediate results. As you breathe gently, allowing sleep to come in its own time, consider how your relationship with your body might shift if you approached it not as something broken to be fixed or enemy to be conquered, but as wise companion on your journey, sometimes challenging, yes, but also constantly working toward balance, constantly communicating important information, constantly supporting your life in countless ways you may not even notice. The Zen tradition offers a beautiful teaching through the parable of the ox herder. In this ancient series of images, a young herder searches everywhere for his lost ox, representing our true nature that seems to be missing. After much seeking, he discovers the ox's footprints, then glimpses the ox itself, then gradually learns to work with it rather than fighting against it, and finally rides the ox home in perfect harmony. This parable illustrates our journey with the body as well. We often begin by feeling disconnected from our physical experience, either ignoring its messages until they become too loud to dismiss, or fighting against them as unwelcome intrusions. Gradually, we learn to recognize the body's communications, to work with its wisdom rather than against it, and eventually to experience a harmony between awareness and physical form that transforms our entire relationship with embodiment. This harmony doesn't mean perfect health or complete freedom from discomfort. Rather, it represents an integration where we neither ignore the body's reality nor become completely identified with it, where we honor its messages while recognizing that we are more than our temporary physical conditions. The Buddha described this middle way between extremes as the path of liberation, not the extreme of ignoring the body's needs in pursuit of purely spiritual aims, nor the extreme of being so identified with physical experience that we miss the larger context of awareness within which all sensations arise. This balanced approach honors both our embodied nature and the consciousness that witnesses and holds this embodiment with compassionate presence. As you rest now, perhaps drifting more deeply towards sleep, allow this balance to permeate your being, not fighting against whatever physical sensations are present, not ignoring them, but simply allowing them to be held in kind awareness. The same awareness that has been with you throughout your entire life, witnessing all your experiences without itself being damaged by any of them. The Zen tradition speaks of our original face, the aspect of ourselves that exists prior to all conditioning, all identification with temporary states, all stories about who we are or should be. This original nature remains whole regardless of physical condition, emotional state, or life circumstances. It isn't something to achieve through striving, but our birthright as conscious beings, available whenever we step back from complete immersion in thought and sensation to rest in simple presence. This presence has a quality of inherent peacefulness, not because it denies difficulties, but because it holds them within a larger context that includes both challenge and ease, both limitation and possibility, both the specificity of our individual journey and the universality of experiences shared by all living beings. When we connect with this presence, even briefly, something shifts in our relationship with whatever difficulties we face. The shift isn't always dramatic or immediately apparent. It might simply be a subtle sense of having more internal space, of not being completely identified with or defined by pain or limitation, of recognizing that while part of our experience involves suffering, another part remains untouched by it. The clear witnessing awareness that has been with us since birth and remains constant amid all of life's changes. As you breathe gently, perhaps very near sleep now, allow yourself to rest in this witnessing awareness, not as concept to think about, but as direct experience of what is already present, already whole within you. This resting requires no effort, no special technique, no achievement or goal. It's simply a recognition of what has been here all along. The consciousness that perceives sensation without being damaged by it, that notices thoughts without being defined by them, that feels emotions without becoming lost in them. The great Zen master Dogen wrote, "To study the Buddha way is to study the self. To study the self is to forget the self. To forget the self is to be actualized by myriad things." This teaching points to the freedom that comes when we're no longer completely identified with our temporary conditions, when we recognize that while we experience pain, limitation, or difficulty, we are not these experiences. They move through the field of our awareness like clouds through the sky, sometimes dominating our attention, but never diminishing our essential nature. This recognition brings a profound peace that doesn't depend on the absence of problems, but on a different relationship with them. Neither fighting against reality as it is in this moment, nor resigning ourselves to suffering as inevitable and unchangeable. The middle way acknowledges difficulties while remaining open to the possibility of transformation, accepts current limitations while taking appropriate action to create conditions that support healing and balance. The Buddha taught that everything changes, everything flows. This impermanence applies to physical conditions as much as to any other aspect of life. The pain that seems unbearable in one moment shifts slightly in the next. The limitation that feels permanent gradually transforms over time. The illness that dominates awareness today becomes part of a larger life story that includes both challenge and renewal, both difficulty and ease. This understanding of impermanence doesn't guarantee that all problems will disappear or that all illnesses will be cured. It simply reminds us that nothing remains exactly the same forever, that within even chronic conditions, there is movement, fluctuation, change that creates openings for new possibilities we might never imagine if we see our situation as fixed and unchangeable. As you rest now, perhaps deeply asleep, or perhaps still drifting towards sleep, allow this recognition of flow to bring a sense of spaciousness to your experience. Not denying whatever challenges you face, but holding them within the larger context of constant change, constant transformation, constant renewal that characterizes all living systems, including your remarkable body with its capacity for adaptation, compensation, and healing that continues whether you're conscious of it or not. The Zen tradition offers a beautiful image through the Japanese practice of kintsugi, repairing broken pottery with gold. Rather than trying to hide the cracks or damages, this art form highlights them with precious metal, creating an object that is arguably more beautiful and certainly more unique after being broken and repaired than it was in its original state. This practice offers a profound metaphor for our relationship with physical challenges. The breaks and damages aren't denied or hidden, but acknowledged and integrated into a new whole that includes both the original form and the history of its transformation. The result isn't devalued because of its imperfections, but recognized as uniquely beautiful precisely because of how it has been broken and healed. Similarly, our bodies with their various injuries, illnesses, and imperfections aren't less valuable or less worthy of care than some idealized perfect form that exists only in imagination. The marks of our journey, the literal and metaphorical scars, limitations, and adaptations, become part of our unique expression of being human, neither to be ashamed of nor to be particularly proud of, but simply to be acknowledged as aspects of our complete experience. This perspective doesn't romanticize suffering or suggest that illness or disability is necessary for spiritual growth. It simply recognizes that within the reality of physical challenges that are part of every human life to some degree, there exists the possibility of integration rather than fragmentation, of including our difficulties within a larger sense of wholeness, rather than seeing them as evidence that something is fundamentally wrong with us or our lives. The Buddha taught that suffering arises when we resist reality as it is, when we insist that things should be different than they are in this moment. This teaching doesn't mean passive resignation to conditions that could be improved. It means beginning from clear recognition of what actually is, without the additional suffering that comes from denial, from fighting against what cannot be immediately changed, from believing we should somehow be exempt from the vulnerability that is part of being human. From this clear seeing, appropriate action naturally arises, not from rejection of reality, but from compassionate response to it. We seek treatment for illness, not because sickness shouldn't exist, but because alleviating suffering when possible is the natural expression of wisdom and compassion. We adapt to limitations not because we've given up on healing, but because working skillfully with current conditions creates more possibility than denying or fighting against them. As you continue to rest, perhaps deeply asleep now, allow this balanced perspective to permeate your being. Not denying difficulties, not exaggerating them, but holding them within the larger context of a life that includes both challenge and joy, both limitation and possibility, both the specificity of your unique journey and the universality of experiences shared by all living beings. The Zen masters remind us that enlightenment isn't found by escaping our human condition, but by fully entering it, by being completely present with what is, rather than constantly seeking something different or something more. This presence doesn't eliminate problems, but transforms our relationship with them from opposition to integration, from rejection to acknowledgement, from identification to compassionate witnessing. This witnessing awareness has been with you throughout your entire life, perceiving all your experiences without itself being damaged by any of them, recognizing all sensations without being defined by them, holding both joy and sorrow with the same spacious presence. It remains available in this moment, regardless of your physical condition or emotional state, as the ground of your being that exists prior to all temporary circumstances and continues beyond them. Rest now in this awareness, as sleep perhaps holds you in its gentle embrace, not striving, not seeking, not trying to change anything, but simply allowing natural processes to unfold in their own time, in their own way. Your conscious mind can rest completely, trusting the wisdom that continues operating beyond thought, beyond effort, beyond control. Rest now in this recognition, as sleep perhaps holds you in its gentle embrace. not striving, not seeking, not trying to change anything, but simply allowing natural processes to unfold in their own time, in their own way. Your conscious mind can rest completely, trust in the wisdom that continues operating beyond thought, beyond effort, beyond control. May your sleep be deep and restorative. May your dreams be peaceful. May you wake refreshed and renewed, carrying the gentle wisdom of these teachings into your day. And may all beings find this same peace, this same recognition of their fundamental wholeness, regardless of external conditions or temporary limitations. Rest now in the embrace of this universal wish for well-being that includes both yourself and all living creatures. Not separate, not isolated, but part of the vast web of life that has sustained all beings throughout time and continues to support you in this moment, in this breath, in this gentle letting go into sleep and restoration.